Okay, hello everybody, welcome to TìandTarot, or welcome back to TìandTarot if you've been here before. So today's reading is a monthly predictions reading for September. So we've got 3 piles for you to choose from today. We've got pile 1, 2 and 3. There are several ways that you can pick your pile, either based on the number of the pile, the object or crystal on top, the energy of the pile, the number in the timestamps below, or the zodiacs in the description box below. If you like to choose your pile with crystals, I will get into those with you now. So for pile 1, we have this Fluorite moon crystal with a little bit of yellowy druzy in there. And it's got these really cute, like, little divots in there. For pile 2, we have a ghost cluster or phantom quartz in the colour green. And for pile 3, we have some purple labradorite. It's like purple and orangey yellow. It's like a rainbow one, to be honest. Okay, so once you have picked your pile, there will be a timestamp in the description box below for you to find your reading more easily, and I will meet you there. Bye! Okay, hello my pile ones, welcome to your reading. So you chose this really cute moon, which we're going to put over there, and these are your cards. So for your September predictions, so we've got rejection, and we also have regret. Not off to a great start, lads. No, I'm joking. It's fine. Don't worry. Okay, and your other oracle card is Oasis in reverse with refuge, safety, respite. Seek respite, find safety and peace. Okay, so we've got those. So we have the Ace of Coins, we have the 7 of Coins, we have the 5 of Blades, we have the 8 of Coins in reverse, we have the High Priestess, and we have the 3 of Sticks, as well as the 2 of Cups, which I'm going to put sideways. Okay. I think there's definitely going to be a need for some rebuilding of your security in September. I think you're going to be feeling a little bit wobbly, a little bit emotionally unsafe, just in terms of like maybe you've put yourself out there a lot this month and maybe it's not gone that well for you and you're just like, fuck it, hold on, let me regroup, let me go back inward, let me give myself some comfort. It almost feels like you've tried really hard maybe in August and things haven't gone the way you'd hoped, and you feel like you've given so much of yourself to something and now you're feeling like a little bit empty, a little bit vulnerable, a little bit exposed for that reason, and so you kind of want to just go into this oasis, this safety, this haven, this respite for a little bit. Go into a retreat, do some self-care, take care of yourself, give yourself lots of love, fill up your cup a little bit more before you kind of get back out there. So I think September is going to be like a nice, chill, mellow, self-caring month for you. A period to kind of take care of yourself, start from scratch, start again. I think you might have had ups and downs in love, and actually I can feel for you with the 2 of Cups because that came in upright. I can feel for you that your next chapter in love is going to be really fucking good. Really good. And that might not happen in September, but we're getting that message now, I think, to give you a little bit of hope. It could be that your spirit guides are watching. They've seen you have a little bit of a hard time and they're like, hey, just so you know, it gets better from here. Okay? So it's just a reminder that things will do well for you and your next chapter in love is going to be really good. But at the minute, it kind of seems like you might have had a falling out with somebody or a group of people. Could be friends, could be a partner, could have been family. So maybe things are just feeling a little bit wobbly now. And I also think with the regret card and the 5 of Blades, over here you can see that this ghost is kind of getting a bit of a kick out of tearing down those other 2 people in the situation. And this usually represents you as well. So 2 people were feeling quite hurt, quite upset, and this person feels victorious. They feel like they've won, and then over here we've got regret. So you may have been the cause of some damage in your relationships. Maybe you got a little bit carried away in the heat of the moment, in the heat of an argument. You focused more so on winning the argument rather than thinking about the emotions of the people involved, or how this could cause greater repercussions to you later down the line in those connections. And so you're feeling now a little bit regretful, and like maybe you miss them or regret the things you did because you now kind of feel rejected from this group of people. Whatever it is, you feel like you kind of said the wrong things or took things too far. And so I think for September you're taking a period of reflection and also stillness. Like, you're trying to learn to be a little bit more considerate with the things you say or the things you do. Maybe just creating space to pause, to think, to reflect, to not need to fill up space with talking, to think about the words that you're about to say and what impact they're going to have. I can feel you getting more in touch with that side of yourself this month, with being more contemplative, more thoughtful. Like when we see the 8 of coins there, the 7 of coins, this is like working away diligently and then also basking in and observing and reflecting on what you have grown, what you've done, the progress you've made. And so I think this month, during your little like hermit retreat mode, your safety mode, you're going to kind of look at what you've created this month in terms of the growth you've made as a person internally, the growth you're making in the way you communicate with others and show love and express yourself. You're working on that this month, and you're reflecting on it and looking at it and being like, okay, like, here's where I could have handled situations better. Here's what I could do next time if this happens. Here's what I could do now to rectify it. You know, like maybe apologize. Maybe talk about this regret that you're feeling with this group that you kind of feel rejected from based on some of the harsh words that you said. You're kind of starting again, starting from scratch to think about how you can bring value to others and how they can bring value to you, and how you can start building a version of yourself that you feel more happy with, more happy to be, a person you're proud to be. Because sometimes we outgrow the behaviours that we've developed into over time. You know, maybe you developed certain behaviours or habits in the past because that helped you survive that period of your life. But now, maybe as a more grown, mature person, those behaviours or those ways of being no longer align with you. And so they'll feel uncomfortable. You will feel these tough feelings of regret, of rejection, of maybe flipping between this kind of villain era to reflecting on that and being like, actually, could have handled that better kind of thing. It's like you're improving the way that you interact with the world around you because you're ready for this change. A lot of the times when we go into this retreat, oasis, hermit mode, it's because there is something that we kind of need to reconstruct, fix, remove from ourselves and then rebuild into something better. With that rejection there, they're holding a piece of themselves, and there's that piece that needs to heal now and change and be different. So there's something that is going to be changing about you this month, and it's definitely in where this change lies is in your communication style, in your thoughtfulness, in your consideration for others, your care and your love for others as well. And that's something you're going to be working towards, as well as redefining who you are a little bit to be someone who pauses and reflects and thinks about things a lot before taking action. I'm seeing a lot of reflective thinking cards, you know, observing cards, as well as action, but lots of thoughtful taking in and thinking, and reflecting on past behaviours that may have led to these sorts of feelings. We've got a few more cards for you that just came out. So we've got bad karma in reverse, we have rejected in reverse, we have scarcity tactic in reverse, we have unfazed, and we have threatening, intimidating, threatened, bothered. So a few things. First of all, this isn't about you, some of this stuff. So with this sort of group that you may have had a falling out with that 5 of blades, it might feel like they've rejected you or that you've hit a dead end, but there is actually space to repair this connection. There is space there because I think they are giving off the impression that they don't care or that they're done, but actually, whether they know it or not, they have space in their heart to forgive you. It's just about your approach to the situation and whether or not you can mend it by being honest and open about the fact that you're sorry, you regret some of the things you said, you miss them, you know, you would like to repair this connection and move forward, not acting the way you acted kind of in your villain era a little bit. So you feel threatened by this kind of we're done with you energy, but they're not really done with you. That's not the truth of the situation. So it can feel that way, and it can feel like you've been rejected from this situation, but that's not the case. It might feel like you're down in your luck right now, but again, that's not the case. Learning curves, opportunities to change are not necessarily a bad thing. That it's not bad luck, it's actually really positive. It gives you room to grow and improve and change and be a better person. The second thing is that I think in September you're going to be flipping between these emotions of like phased, unfazed, phased, unfazed, I'm bothered, I'm not bothered, I'm bothered, I'm not bothered. Like, you want this outward look of strength because you kind of said these really harsh things and you kind of want to walk away, be like, mic drop, done, and walk off and be like a bad bitch. But you just don't feel that way. Okay, you just don't have the capacity to kind of be that person. You have too much emotion, you have too much feeling, like you care about the people you had this interaction with. And so you're going to be struggling with the kind of battle of back and forth between your emotions of feeling that regret, feeling rejection, feeling sad and bothered about this, and then feeling like, or trying to convince yourself to feel unbothered as well. It's like almost like you're both sides of this situation, of this falling out, both you and whoever this person or group were, are almost playing a game a little bit, where it's like, rather than just be honest about how you're feeling and change things or try and work on things, you're both like, well, I'm not talking to you because blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like that. That's the energy that I'm getting from these cards here. I also kind of want to ask, I wasn't going to, but I wanted to ask what, because this has been quite emotion heavy for September, I want to know what things are coming in for you in September. So I know emotionally you're going into retreat, you're kind of taking care of yourself, doing a little bit of a self-care month, a sort of recuperation, recovery, healing, changing month, growing month, maybe a month for reflection and redemption as well. But what about the kind of physical grounded things in your world as well? So I want to know about that. Oh, we have the King of Coins. Okay, you're doing well in your grounded world. We have the Page of Sticks. Love that. And we have the Knight of Sticks. Okay. So lots of, in terms of what's going on in your more grounded world, lots of success in this arena. Lots of success in your career, in your finances. Things are doing well. Opportunities are kind of flooding in, especially in terms of like ideas and creative things and hobbies, especially because if you're in hermit mode, you will tend to get a lot of creative downloads in your mind just because you are in this kind of reflective pausing period. It kind of just allows for that space to be made for your creativity to strike, because it's a way to funnel your emotions, it's a way to express yourself. And so if you're in this kind of self-expression, self-exploration mode, of course more creative pursuits are going to be coming through. So there's a lot of that coming in, but also a lot of action towards your desires, the things you want, taking charge of your future and the opportunities that you get and the time limit you have to do things on. I think you're going to be very aware of the fact that some opportunities do have a deadline. You know, if you want this opportunity, apply by this date. If you want, I don't know, to go on holiday while it's warm this year, you've got a month left to do it, you know, kind of thing. You recognise that there's like a time limit on certain desires of yours, and you're ready to go after it and quickly get in there before that time limit ends. That's both on physical and sort of like airy or emotional things as well. But yeah, things are looking good for you in September in terms of your physical world, so no worries there at all. Keep doing what you're doing, because what you're doing is getting the best results. Okay, you can now ask any 3 yes or no questions about September. So go ahead and ask your first question now, and I will try my best to answer it for you. We've got ask again, so try a different question. Okay, I'm going to answer it for you now. So you have definitely not a no. Go ahead and ask question 2 now. We have I think so. And go ahead and ask question 3 now. Ooh, we have yup. Okay. So that was your reading part 1. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you were drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Tuesdays and Thursdays for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye! Okay, hello my pile twos, welcome to your September predictions reading. So let's get into your oracle cards first, and then we'll get into some tarot cards. So you have hope, okay, and you have blame. You also have mushroom in reverse with magic, connection, communication. Remember, you are connected to others. Ooh. Okay, and let's get you some tarot cards now for your September monthly predictions pile 2. We have the Queen of Sticks, we have the 8 of Blades, we have the 3 of Cups, we have the 10 of Cups, we have the 5 of Blades, and we have the Strength card. Okay, I think you're on the precipice this month of unlocking something really amazing for you, but you're gonna have to shift the way that you look at things, mainly with your communication style and who you think is at fault for things going on in your life. So, for example, the Queen of Sticks is this amazing communicator, but she's all about the self, being independent, being successful in an independent way. But then we're getting this mushroom card of remember you're connected to everything, and you're a little bit out of sync with this. It's kind of like it's floating around behind you somewhere, but it's not really physical and you don't really see it, but it's this looming presence of your communication style, you, everything about you connects with others, whether you like it or not. You're connected to this world, you're a part of it. You are intertwined with everything in your life, with everything in the world, with everything around you. And so your current way of being is a little bit self-serving. It's a little bit pulled away from and out of touch with, out of connection with others, to a point that you might think you're creating space for others, but you're not. You're actually taking their shine, you're taking their spot. If you can see with the 3 people in the Hope card, there's only 2 big stars, and it's kind of like only 2 people here are going to get a dream come true, and it's almost like this third person is either this third person is you, and it's either that in conversations, in interactions with others, you're kind of stealing people's opportunities to share their thoughts, their opinions, what they're feeling, by not asking them about themselves, by not being interested in their life, and then you think that they're the problem because the connection isn't working, and you're like, well, I was great that whole conversation, but actually you were probably not being as considerate as you could have been. Or a secondary thing, you think you're doing everything right, you're successful, you're on the right path, you're about to get your dream come true, and you look up and your star isn't there. And it's because you're out of sync or out of balance with something. Your perspective on a situation is not correct. Your perspective of what impact you're having on others around you is not correct. You're right on the cusp of realizing this. So this month, I think you're about to have that breakthrough, because at the minute when you have interactions with people, it's like you walk away feeling great, and others don't. And you might think, okay, that's their problem or that's something to do with them, but actually there could be a space here for self-reflection and recognizing that you are intertwined with others and you need to care about them in the same way that you would like to be cared for. The same way you want people to take interest in you in conversations is the same way you need to take interest in others in conversations. And it can be hard as well, because sometimes the conversation just doesn't follow that trajectory of like following down a natural path where you can ask about them. But sometimes when there are opportunities for you to ask, it's like they're missed. But I think once you acknowledge this, and I think this is going to be a really hard acknowledgement for you, because I think it's really hard hearing that you think you do everything right and you're very considerate, to only then find out that maybe you're not. This happened to someone I know recently who I think thought they were doing as much as they could to be like a team player, and it was pointed out to them that they weren't, and you could tell it was really hard hitting for them because they did not anticipate that. But at the same time, it then allowed them to go, okay, this is what I'm going to do then, so that I can be a team player, and they transformed it and turned it around. So with the Strength card here, it's like you're going to hear some bitter truths probably in this reading but don't allow this to like break you or ruin your spirit or make you feel like vulnerable or anything, or like you haven't been leading with the best of intentions, because you definitely have been, but the outcome just wasn't the one you were hoping for. So even if you were trying your best to make space for others, potentially you weren't. And it's okay. You haven't done anything wrong, because your intention is important here, but it's really also important to think about the impact that that's had on others and how others feel about that. By the way, if this doesn't resonate, feel free to pick another pile, but that is just the vibe of these cards. And once you realise that, and you do, as I said, what that person I know did, where they sort of turned it all around and they acted with the idea in the back of their mind of, let me make space for others as well. I don't want to dominate this conversation. I don't want to interrupt people, talk over them, put my opinion forward and then move on without asking anybody else anything. Because they had that in the back of their mind, they got to change it and turn it all around. And that is what's waiting for you. A complete shift this month is happening because of this realization, this change that you're making, the resilience you have to make that change in your communication style is now changing things for you, so that the interactions you have with people feel so much more positive, so much more fun, so much more loving. There's more receptiveness there. There's more acceptance. You no longer feel rejected in spaces, thinking that maybe it's others pushing you out. You recognise that you have a little bit more influence here than you give yourself credit for to make that space comfortable for you by being taking an interest in others, remembering the things they told you and asking them about it later. You have the potential to build really good friendships as well as family dynamics, partnerships, based on this improvement in your communication style. By being a team player, by being a part of the community, you have a chance to brighten up your day, brighten up your life, and share that sunflower energy that you do have with others. Because people can't see it yet if you're kind of dominating conversations and things, but you're ready to share it and you want to show it off. And it's important to make sure that when you are showing it off, you're allowing people space to show off their sunflower energy too. I think you're going into it thinking you need to talk a lot and show a lot of who you are to prove that you're a really great person for others to want to hang around with. But also you're doing yourself a disservice there, because they also need to show you the same thing. So allowing that space for others to show off their energy, you to show off yours, and create this space where those energies can merge together. And then that will create that sort of third star in the sky of hope for your future as well. It will definitely change the trajectory of your future if you can recognize this and put this into action now, this month. Instead of going no and dismissing it and going, I make space for people, but you do actually interrupt quite a bit and things like that. Instead of dismissing it and not changing, actually acknowledging that things need to change and working on it this month will create a more hopeful future for yourself. And you literally have moving. A big change is needed, some shifting around, some clearing out of what you used to be versus who you want to be. We have creeping. I love this. I think that's like you trying to figure out how people do it and trying to be quiet in a conversation where maybe you've spoken quite a bit and you've asked someone a question, you're giving them space to speak and you want to interrupt so bad because it's like a topic you're really interested in and you want to say something, but you're like, no, stay calm, let them speak, and then your turn will come. Like, I feel like that's you. And then you also have jackpot. So yeah, 100%. If you can make this shift in the way that you interact with people, you'll be winning in life. You got the 10 of cups there, come on, and the 3 of cups. You'll be winning in life. Like, you will have so much value in your life. You've got the jackpot. If you can make this change, if you can change up the way you sort of interact with others and be a little bit more considerate and caring, you can completely shift your future wins. So again, just like pile 1, this was kind of heavy on the emotional side of things. I want to know for you, pile 2, what's kind of happening for you in September in terms of your physical world as well, in terms of your more like grounded world. So we have the 6 of Blades, the 6 of Coins, wow, lots of 6s, and the 7 of Blades as well. I love that you got loads of 6s because they're about communication as well, so it's really like screaming through. No matter I've just asked about your physical world and still this communication thing is coming through. I think the key thing here is that not only does this communication style impact the things going on in your intimate life in terms of your relationships, your connections with others, your own personal feelings and emotions at the end of the day, but it also has an impact on your ability to get opportunities, to move up in the world and progress in your career and, you know, get opportunities in terms of like finances, career, things like that. It's harder to achieve those things if you haven't mastered this communication style. So again, we're getting that message with the Six of Blades that you do need to change this kind of communication style, the way you interact with the world, and it will require a mindset reshift, I guess, because it's almost like you have to actively think about including others in order to do it. So it's a little bit emotional, a little bit intellectual, but once you've done that, it then creates this space where abundance starts coming in for you, and you're sharing that abundance with others, not just in terms of an emotional, valuable sense, but also genuinely in terms of like a physical sense as well. Like as you move up in the world, you'll be able to share that generous sunflower energy with others, and you start being more generous with your resources in that sort of sense. I also think you, for September, might need to be a little bit strategic with the way that you move in your physical world to get the things you want. Be aware of maybe hurdles that could potentially hinder your progress and how you're going to strategically overcome these. So maybe the hurdle is a lack of knowledge on a project that you're about to start at work. So what could you do? You could study this project, everything you need to know about it before you go into it, and that way you're being strategic about this hurdle coming up. So there's also some strategy needed coming in that you might have to do, or just a little bit of caution when it comes to your physical world as well. Being cautious of the genuineness of an offering or an opportunity that comes your way. You can now ask any 3 yes or no questions about September. So go ahead and ask your first question now, and I will answer it for you. You have in no way. Go ahead and ask question 2 now. You have without a doubt. Go ahead and ask question 3 now, and I will answer it for you. Not a chance. Okay, pile 2, that was your reading for September. I hope you're feeling excited about September, about all the progress you're going to make and all the great things you're going to achieve. And yeah, wishing you all the best for September. Good luck with everything. If you were drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Tuesday and Thursday for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye. Okay, hello my pile 3s. Welcome to your reading. So you chose this really nice labradorite crystal, which I've decided to put here because it catches the light best over here. So anyways, let's start off with your oracle cards, then we'll get into some tarot cards for you guys if I can pick them up. So we have boredom, we have spite, we have butterfly in reverse, transition, transformation, shifting, the times are changing, emerge in all your glory. I'm seeing some quite toxic habits here that maybe need clearing out. So we've got the 5 of coins. I don't know if these are your toxic habits or somebody else's, but we'll see. We've got the Sun card. We have the 8 of sticks, the 9 of sticks, the 10 of sticks, and the 3 of blades. Okay, so this could be a message for you, but it could also be a message for someone in your life in terms of like, you need to be aware of this behavior that they do so you can respond to it. But either way, I think there's someone in your life and both of you are indulging in toxic habits. When you get bored, you do something spiteful. When you get bored, you, like, for example, let's say you have someone in your life who you know is like madly in love with you, but you're not interested. When you're not bored and you're mature and you're reasonable, you're like, yeah, let's not speak because this is creating problems for you and problems for me. It would just be a kinder, gentler experience for everybody if we had some distance. But then the second you're bored, you'll like toy with them or make them think you have feelings for them, even if you don't, because you're bored. So you're doing things out of spite, even though that's like a cruel thing to do. That's just an example, by the way. That isn't what I actually think you're doing or anybody else is doing. They might be, but this is more just about the actual behaviour of getting bored, doing something you otherwise would disagree with morally. And that leaves both you and this other person feeling like shit with the 5 of coins there. Feeling valueless, leaving you like heartbroken with that 3 of blades. The thing is, behaviours like these are kind of learned and then ingrained, and then they're really hard to overcome because they sort of become this habit that you're used to, this repeating cycle that gets comfortable, that is hard to kind of break free from. So if this is you, with the 8, 9, 10 of sticks, I can see you making fast progress this month in changing this about yourself. You will make it through. It is tough. It's a lot of hard work, and sometimes you can feel like, what's the point in making these sort of like personal developments? But change is uncomfortable with the butterfly there. You know, it can feel uncomfortable making this cocoon and then bursting free of it and then having to rest because you've just done all this hard work. But you do all this hard work so you can be this beautiful free butterfly at the end, right? So yes, it's hard work, but it needs to be done. This clearing out needs to be done, especially if you want success, if you want happiness, if you want to enjoy your life. You have to remove this cycle of boredom moves to spite, to boredom to spite, to boredom to spite. You have to change that pattern of behaviour if you want a successful, bright, enjoyable future for yourself. If this is about somebody else in your life doing this thing that leaves you both kind of feeling like shit, again, similar advice, but it's more so that recognising this pattern of behaviour and that you don't deserve it and that this person isn't someone worth hanging out with is hard work, but the recovery from that is going to be quick. So say like there's someone in your life who does kind of dangle the carrot in front of you when they're bored, but they have no intention of following through on what they're saying, if their feelings aren't genuine, things like that. It feels so hard to walk away from someone like that if you have put a lot of eggs in their basket, if you value them, if you want them. But with the 8 of sticks, it's going to be a quick turnaround, even if it's hard with the 9 and the 10. Quick turnaround. So by this month, you will be done with that. You will be done with them. You will be done with that behaviour, that toxic behaviour, whether it's yours, whether it's theirs. You'll be done with it by the end of this month. You'll be recovered from it. And then by the start of October, there's that sun energy. There's that positivity, there's that enjoyment, there's that value replenished in your life again, and there's that butterfly energy. So it's like this really fast, rapid, super uncomfortable transformation. Like if you think of it this way, let's say, I don't know how long it takes to become a butterfly, but let's say it takes 5 years to become a butterfly. The caterpillar has loads of time to fill up on loads of food, make their cocoon, rest up, burst free of that, and so the process won't be that uncomfortable. It will be pretty much unnoticeable. And then one day they're just a butterfly. But if you sped all that up into a month, if you compressed 5 years of change into 1 month, that is going to be so uncomfortable, so fast, and so, like, not easy at all. Not easy, it's going to be really hard. But then at the end of the month, you're a butterfly, instead of at the end of 5 years. So for you, this change of rejecting this kind of toxic behaviour, whether it's yours, whether it's theirs, this rejection of it, and you're healing from it and then moving on and then being absolutely fine with never engaging with that type of behaviour again, it's going to happen super fast, which is really tough because of how quick it's happening. But then at the end of the month, you're done, you know, it's finished. So it's kind of this really quick progress this month of recovering from toxicity, bad habits, things that don't work for you anymore. Okay, so I'm going to get a few more oracle cards for you now. So we have Dirty Offer in reverse. This is literally kind of what I was saying. Like, if someone's like playing with you, the offer is not genuine, that it's not coming from a real place, they're dangling the carrot. It's like a dirty offer. We have Girl Fight in reverse, arguments, physical fights, at war, competing. It's interesting you got that because a sub, I suppose, meaning of the 10 of sticks is competition. We have Spiritual Hater, hates on your spirituality, your light, magic and power. Maybe this isn't you then who does this toxic behaviour. Let's get a few more so I can fully understand this situation. Fake accounts, fake social media, accounts to spy, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. And unfazed in reverse. It could be someone dangling the carrot in front of you, and it's hard for you to overcome this person because I think maybe you have more invested emotion and true genuine emotion than they do. So they keep dangling this carrot, and I think there's going to be this breaking point this month where you're like, look, am I getting the carrot or not? Like, what's happening here? And that's when you sort of have this eye-opening, awakening moment when you realise that what you've put into this connection is not what you thought they were putting into the connection. Like, You thought this was a genuine back and forth kind of connection, and actually it was very one-sided on your end, and on the other end was actually, it's not even that there was no emotion, it's that there's a lot of cruel intentions. This person wants to compete with you, they don't necessarily want the best for you, they're jealous of you, they want your light, your magic, your power, a little bit obsessed with you, and they try and act unbothered, but they're not. And it leads to this toxicity where they do things spitefully towards you, or say things spitefully, or, you know, they have a lot of animosity towards you that seemingly comes from nowhere, because they're building up this habit of going in a circle, bored, and then spiteful, and then acts on that towards you. So I think for this month, you're recognizing who that is, or where this toxic energy is coming from. It could even be that you, let's say it is you, it could even be that you are recognizing that you hold too much energy for people that don't need it. Maybe you're bothered by things going on in other people's lives that you don't need to be bothered by, and you kind of need to focus on yourself and stop being quite obsessive with others. It could be either or of those things. It could be them or it could be you. But there's work being done here this month to clear all that out. All this toxicity is being swept out because it needs to go. Is this you or them? I want to know. Okay, it was them, because you've got the Six of Blades. So this is like you escaping that situation, like leaving it behind. I think it's them. Like, it's you alone in a boat walking away from this situation. So I think it's somebody about you this month. So that's good. For September, they're getting cleared out of your life. Or opportunities that are false opportunities, or that are dirty offers where you think you're getting the carrot and you're not getting the carrot. You're recognising what those are, and you're being like, okay, well then I don't need these. And you're walking away from them. And even though it's hard to then give up on that future that you've kind of envisioned in your mind of the moment that when you do get this carrot, this is what's going to happen. Even though you've had to let that go, it never really existed to begin with because you were never going to get the carrot. So it's better to let it go and move on to something brighter and more optimistic and hopeful with that sunshine energy, rather than stick around and feel that Three of Blades energy, that heartbreak, because something isn't working out for you and never was going to, and then you invest way more time than you need to in it. We also have the moon. A lot of mystery in your future this month. A lot of spiritual connection. Maybe feeling a little bit alone or isolated or anxious or contemplative. We have the Death card, so massive change, massive moving on. Recovering for sure. You're definitely leaving this behind. And the thing with the Death card is it discriminates against nobody. That's why we've got a crown on the floor. This was a king. This was someone regal. This is someone untouchable, someone special, and yet it happened to them and they cannot believe it. They cannot, whoever this person is, they cannot believe you walked away from them. Because they think they are God's gift. They think they're amazing. They cannot believe you do not give a shit. And you're going to put yourself before them because you never have done before. You've always put them before you. And they cannot believe it. So yeah, there's that. We've got the Eight of Blades. So potentially you not seeing a situation clearly. But as we can see, you're recovering from that now. But it could be that at this time, at this moment in this reading, you still don't know who this is or what connection this is or what opportunity this is. That's false. It will be revealed to you in September. It will unfold to you as the month goes on. It will come up in your life and you'll go, oh, it's this. But you still might be in a period where you don't see it. And then you're going to start being really proud of yourself. Really proud of yourself this month for all the progress you've made in upping your value and what's valuable to you. In upping what you choose to spend your time doing, what you choose to invest your efforts, your energy into. You're really proud of yourself for recognising your energy and your effort needed to be redirected elsewhere. And then we also have the Empress. Yes, in terms of like your physical world, what you're actually getting up to in September in that sense, I see you being a big part of your community. I can see you getting out in nature, being really grounded, enjoying yourself, taking the weekends to yourself, you know, going for walks in the park, maybe doing some yoga, just really enjoying yourself. Having good, sort of like a good clearing out, because you're pulling yourself away from this toxic, sort of dirty offer. You're seeing things more clearly, you feel like the fog is gone, there's no more cloudedness around your mind, and you feel so much more free. And yeah, I can just see you being really active this month with friends, celebrations, things you're getting up to, enjoyment. And we also have the Knight of Coins, so lots of action taking and progress towards your finances, but also in terms of manifesting the things you want, the things that bring value to you, the things that make you feel good, and also that boost your physical and emotional world as well. So that was your reading pile 3. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm wishing you all the best for September, all the success, all the luck. I hope you clear out whoever this is, or this negative energy in your life, or this toxic offer. I hope it's gone so you can focus on the good stuff. Wishing you all the best. And if you were drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Tuesday and Thursday for another reading on TìandTarot.